This is Rob Ismay and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Stephen, good to see you. Last time I seen you was 2 days before your fight. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good. Had a batch of let's say government flu, COVID, after the fight on the Monday. So was quite bad on the Sunday when I woke up. I was really bad, but coming to the back end of it now, it's been 2 weeks and still a little bit chesty, but I'm all right.
So looking back on your fight with Phil Williams, we know that that's not the fight that you wanted, but you were kind of put into a situation it was him or nobody else. Then, to my surprise, as I'm watching it, I'm expecting 6 rounds. The referee's announcing 4 rounds. What happened with that?
See, even the British Boxing Board had it as a 6-rounder. At the weigh-in, it was a 6-rounder. Everything was announced as a 6-rounder. It was on BoxRec as a 6-rounder. Camp was a 6-rounder. And when you're fighting, when you're fighting 6 rounds, you spar 8, and your first 2 are slow because the next 4 is when you pick it up. And then on the morning of the fight, I get a phone call off Glenn saying, "Oh, I've had somebody at Wasserman on the phone. Phil Williams is refusing to fight a 6-rounder," and I was a bit like, well, it's not. He surely can't refuse to fight a 6-rounder. Surely that's not how it works. It's confirmed as a 6-rounder. It's on the British Boxing Board website as a 6-rounder. And then Glenn went away, done his homework, spoke to John Wish. John Wish was unaware that it was, that it was going to be a 4-rounder. And as the phone calls went back and forwards with his manager, Mark, Glenn, Sky, Wasserman, and about an hour later, I find out that I'm only fighting a 4. Phil had refused a 6. So that got us pissed off from the off.
You didn't piss off in the fight?
Because, well, it did, because you get paid per round, so there's the money situation, which I was a bit like, for fuck's sake, I'm banking. Well, I'm not banking on it, but I hadn't fought for 6 months, so that money, and then obviously you're training for a 6-rounder, your mindset's for a 6-rounder, and again, it was something that messed up with my mind before fight. And then when you went into the venue, I mean, anyone will tell you the heat was unbelievable and there was so many complaints. And then they realised that there was a gap in between the third fight and the 2 heavyweights, Jose Stewart and Ignatius. There was about a 20-minute gap, and that's because they realised that they'd put the heating on instead of aircon. So they had to try and cool the building down before anyone else went in. So I went from fighting, getting told I'm fighting at 6:30. That then got changed to 9 o'clock. It got changed from a 6 to a 4-rounder. And it just seemed like and I just thought it's fucking deja vu of things coming on top on fight night. But I tried to just stay away from, just focus on fighting. But I knew what Phil Williams was going to do. Phil Williams refused to fight a 6-rounder because he knew, had it have went any further, I would have stopped him. I was nearly close to stopping him in the 4th, So had it have went any further, listen, Phil Williams is a businessman. Fair play to the bloke. He knows that I possess power, fought him before, and he knows that had it have went any further, he's probably not going to be able to fight in 2 weeks' time and make that money. So if that's he's went and made the decision that he only wants to fight a 4-rounder. Yes, it pissed me off, but at the end of the day, he's got a roof over his head that he needs to provide for, and a family needs to provide for. And as much as it annoyed me, I've got to take my hat off to Phil, because he knew what he wanted to do, and he knew, right, I'm going to give it to him for 4 rounds and put it on him. But obviously,
he told you before, didn't he?
Of course he did. He told us at the weigh-in. He says, but he still didn't know. In his head, he must have knew it was a 4-rounder. He must have knew he was going to refuse to fight a 6-rounder. It was either you fight a 4-rounder or you don't fight. What do I do? You know, it's the day of the fight. I've sold 7.5 grand worth of tickets. I've got over 200 people coming. What do I do? Do I say and be stubborn, or do I just bite my pride and go in there? And listen, like I say, Phil come and he tried to put it on us and he caught us with a couple of jabs. But anybody who's got a boxing mentality or a boxing brain who sit there and saying Phil Williams got the better of him, wasn't even close. Hey, I've watched it. I haven't watched the Shane Gill fight back because that wasn't me. Mentally, it wasn't me. Everything. But normally, I'm a massive critic, and I normally, you know, even after sparring, I'll sit and I'll think, why did I get caught with that? Why? I watched the Phil Williams fight back, and I'm thinking, what are people seeing? What are these idiots? It's just people happy to sit behind the computer and try and belittle other people. And like I said, he caught us with a couple of jabs because my footwork, I wasn't coming in and out. Great, well done, but I caught him with 4 jabs as he caught me with 1. It's boxing, you're going to get caught. I'm going to get caught. And then obviously he was grabbing, he was headbutting, and
That's what the cut was, wasn't it?
yes, it was a headbutt. Right, even the referee, he told Phil Williams off 4 times. And Mark even said, how a ref, like this is the 4th time he was headbutting us, and he told him off 3 or 4 times because when he said break, he wasn't hitting us hard, granted, but he was hitting us with 2 to the body and then a left hook to the head just to piss us off, just to get in my head. He knows what he's doing. He's a you know, listen, it's his job. He knows how to get into people's heads. He knows how to piss people off. And fair play to Phil for coming and trying to knock us out.
But I mean, we've seen Phil Williams, and no disrespect to him, but we've seen him fight so many different opponents where he just goes in there to lose on purpose, deliberately. Don't even throw a fucking punch. He's out of shape. He's fat as a pig. But yet you, it's like 2 times you fought him, and both times he's in, for him, incredible condition.
He was the lightest he's ever been. He says to us, this is the fittest I've ever been and the lightest I've ever been. He says he thinks he's got a year left. He says and he's going to get a few wins. I mean, after the fight we spoke, and he says, I'm you know, as a journeyman, I know, a bit like Sokolowski, he says, if I win a couple of fights, I don't get the phone call. I don't get calls to come and fight these up-and-comers. He says, so that's why I've spent the last 3 years just sitting back and taking these losses. He went, but now, he says, coming to the end of my career, I'm gonna try and take a couple of zeros off people, and fair play to him. I hope that happens. I really do, because he's not a bad boxer. He's a tidy boxer, and if he keeps it, you know, over 4 rounds, who's to say that he won't get a couple of? Well, I'm sure he's just getting a win against somebody who's a few weeks ago against an up and comer. So, like I say, fair play to him.
Okay, so that was that. In some ways, I suppose, because you comfortably won this one, compared to the first time you fought like a Phil Williams, that was like a totally different kind of fight. You guys were quite happy to just trade with each other. Yeah. But anyway, that's done. It's now moving forward. You're hearing around October you'll be out on Sky Sports.
Yeah, Hughie Fury show. So it all depends, obviously, when Hughie's physically and mentally ready to go again. Mentally, I think he'll always be ready, but physically, obviously, he's had a bit time off. But I'm sure he's kept himself fit with Peter, his strength coach, and Peter Fury's dad. You know, he's always he lives and breathes the sport. So I'm sure he's kept himself fit, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go sometime in October, hopefully early October, and we'll go again if we can get one more out before the end of the year. Whether or not Sky are going to have shows during the World Cup or not, or whether or not it'll be two sort of viewing figures will drop too much where they think well, it's not going to be worth it for us. It all depends on that. But if we can get Sky to sort out a local show and allow us to box on a local show, then hopefully we'll get this one out the way. in October, and then we'll go again before the end of the year, and just keep it a winning ways. And as I say, my mentality won't ever be like it was in the Shane Gill fight. I'll never walk into a ring again if I feel like that. And you know, granted, I took the loss and all things, but listen, as I've said a million times, I couldn't give a shit about the loss, and that's gone now. And as I say, it's on the up now, and let's finish the end of the year with a couple of good wins and start 2023 with a bang.
Are you looking at anybody specific or type of opponent, shall we say? Not necessarily like I mean, I'm sure you don't want a third fight with Phil Williams, but what kind of a fight would you be looking at? Do you have, like, for example, Jose Stewart and Franklin Ignatius and Ignatius, Nick Campbell and all these kind of guys on your radar within the next few fights?
Again, that's down to down to me to Sky and my management team and Boxer and Mark and Glenn, because to tell me I'm fighting next week against whoever, and you know, if my mindset's right, I'm going to go into the ring, win, draw, lose. But obviously, ideally, I want to take somebody zero. I want to show me worth, and I want to show why, you know, that one loss means nothing, and what I'm about. And the better I come, the better the opponent, the better I box. When I'm boxing shit, I become shit. And it's funny because you look at Audley Harrison. Audley Harrison was a gold medalist. You don't just go and get a gold medal off being shit. But he signed a deal, you know, I think it was with Channel 5 at the time. And they were putting him in with absolutely puddings for, I think he signed a 14-fight deal. So 14 of his fights were just absolutely disgraceful, where he didn't care. He probably wasn't training because he was in with Nuggets. He wasn't looking to up his game. And then when he fought against somebody, come in against somebody, you know, everybody was like, he is absolutely horrendous. He's shit. He's this. He's that. But he's an Olympic gold medalist. Nobody's shit who's won a gold medal. But again, this is the people who's happy to sit behind a computer screen and watch the fights and call everybody shit, but never step into a ring. But as I say, the better my opponent, the better I'll be on the night. And if as I say, if I can take somebody zero, or if I can fight somebody who's, you know, who's up and coming, or we'll just see. We'll see where the path takes me. But I want to, you know, I'm in no hurry to jump up to there. Hitting 32 next year, I'm not like everybody's like, oh, Joe Joyce, what's Joe Joyce, 35? Hey, I'm not, you know. And then you look at the likes of Povetkin and stuff. I'm in no hurry to rush my career. Like, for some reason, people think I'm 35, 36 because of Sky. Somehow, Sky thought I was 35. So, you know, I think in the first fight they were announced as 35. I think when I was boxing for MTK, I think they had us down as 35. So I don't know where this confusion's come from. But hey, I've still got probably 2 years before I even hit the peak of my fitness. And I don't, like, people forget that I got into boxing 6.5 years ago to lose weight. And I got beat 6 times as an amateur, and the kid that beat us 3 times, and he beat us 4 times, and I'd say 3 of them were controversial. It's just won just won a Commonwealth gold medal. Delicious. So, you know, even as an amateur, I know my worth. I know how to box. I represented my country. I got into an ABA final, and I don't give a fuck about what people sit and say on social media. I really don't. And you'll get it on your YouTube channel where people are commenting, oh, you hate this guy, you hate that guy, you shit, you don't know this, you don't know that. Do you care what people think? No, because you're doing it. You know your worth, and I know my worth. And these people that are commenting are waking up depressed, miserable, going to work, depressed, miserable, coming home, probably going into the fridge, getting 4 cans, putting a pizza in the oven and sitting on the computer and think, what should I do? I know what I'll do. I'll put other people down because I feel shit. I'll make other people feel shit. And that's what these people do. Because they're self-conscious, or because they've got no worth, or because they feel shit, the only way for them to get a bite is by commenting on videos of people, or commenting on singers, or commenting on YouTube bloggers, or commenting on TikTokers, or boxers, or anybody that they can get somebody else to like their comment or give them a rise. And then they engage in a conversation between, you know, other haters, and that gives them a sense of achievement that somebody else is acknowledged their comment, and they think, oh great, now I've got somebody else to banter with, and I've got somebody else to talk with. I don't envy these, I don't dislike these people. I feel sorry for these people. I want to message them and say, are you alright? I don't want to message them and go, listen, come down the gym and I'll fucking fight you. What am I going to gain from that? I obviously was seeing either Sonny or Charlie Edwards, I can't remember which one. He got, you know, he got the guy down the gym. We've seen it with John T. Wilder. He's had someone down the gym, and what am I going to achieve from doing that? Nothing. Are they going to? And then you get into a back and forwards, or they screenshot the message and go, oh look, he's messaging back, threatening us. I genuinely want to message him and say, listen mate, are you alright? Like, what's wrong with you? Because if you're insecure or you're self-conscious, or there's something wrong with you mentally, to have to want to put other people down, to want other people to feel as low as you are, and talk to somebody. No, because for me, especially at this day and age where mental health is on a, you know, the highest, and you know, I'm at a funeral on Wednesday, and again it was, you know, it's a friend's funeral. And again, it was due to mental health. It was suicide. And it's so big at the minute, but yet you still have these dickheads. And you see it from the very bottom of the boxing, at the very bottom to the very top, like Anthony Joshua. He'll get it, Tyson Fury will get it, Canelo will have gotten it when he got beaten his last fight. Everybody's just happy to put other people down, and it really is a shame, because for me, I'd help anybody. Anybody could reach out to me and say, listen, you know, can you do a post on mental health? Can you post this for us? Can you send me son an autograph? He's going through a tough time. Can you do this? Can you send me son a video message? And I would. If I, you know, my previous post on Instagram, if that helps one or two people to ring the Samaritans or to talk to somebody, or, as I said, I'd much rather have 10 of my pals crying on my shoulder than go to one funeral. And Paddy Pimblton said it unbelievably in his UFC. I don't follow UFC, but I got sent it a couple of times, and he was absolutely perfect with you know, his end of fight speech, and it really did hit home where there isn't enough help out there, there isn't enough government funding out there. So for me, I think everybody just needs to help each other, and then you get all these arseholes who sit and belittle people and call people and you know, say some of the most horrendous things. I mean, some of the messages I've had, like wishing my kids got cancer, wishing my mum would die, and I just think, fucking hell, man, how can you sit and write that? Like, how can you have mentally sit and write that to somebody? But I'll say that's social media, isn't it?
So I get the same messages, and I'm not even a boxer. Although one of them, I hear, he's actually a so-called professional boxer. He seems to think that he can beat you for some reason. You've invited him down to the gym to spar, and for some reason he ain't responding. How you doing, Max?
Do you know what it is? I don't even know who the kid is, and obviously we're in a little WhatsApp group, and I get a screenshot of this kid saying, oh, this kid's calling you out, he wants to fight you, he wants to come down and spar with you. If you don't want to fight me, he wants to spar with you. Isn't anybody's welcome to come and spar with us, and if he wants to fight with us and that fight's not going to happen, come down here, put your 10-ounce gloves on, no head guards, and you know, Mark will referee it, or his manager, his coach can referee it. I'm not bothered, and we're fighting, yeah, and you know, we do the 6 rounds, we do the 8 rounds, and we don't go on points. We just go until somebody knocks somebody out, or as I say, get in touch with Sky, get your manager to get in touch with Mark, my manager, or Glenn or Sky, and we go from there. But again, it's social media. He's happy to sit and say stuff on social media, and he's happy to do this, he's happy to do that, and as I say, listen, I'm not going to badmouth the kid. I don't know the kid. And at the end of the day, he's a boxer and he's putting his life at risk every single day to satisfy the fans and put a roof over his family's head. And I take my hat off to him for doing that. And I take my hat off to anybody stepping through those ropes, whether be it unlicensed, amateur, professional, or just going training. I know what it takes to get through there. So. And if the kid wants to fight, whether it be sparring, whether it be in the gym, he's more than welcome to come here, and I'll shake his hand. You know, win, draw, lose, one. He knocks me out, I knock him out, whatever. But I'm just going to say this: there's not touch wood. I've never been on my arse, and if he's got the mindset of knocking us out, then he's going to be in for a shock unless he brings a taser or a bat, because it's going to take a lot to get me out of those ropes, you know, unless I'm stretchered out. So he's more than welcome to come down.
Respond, Max. Come say hello. All right, Stephen. We've got a couple of bits to do before our day's complete, so we shall end this particular interview. And you're going to keep everybody posted with your next fight.
I will do, yes, and thank you again, everybody who's responded to social media and congratulated us on the win, and obviously, you know, with your posts and YouTube channel, those who write the good things, and even those who write the negative things, you know, keep plugging away and keep inspiring us to prove everybody wrong, because, as I say, just. Again, if there's a message I can send to anybody, it's just, not to me. I couldn't give a fuck. Say what you want about me, but just be kind to those around you and ask if your pals are all right if you haven't heard from them for a few days, and you know, be there for people, and just make sure that, you know, you if you're feeling down, talk to somebody. Don't bottle it up, male or female, because. You know, with the cost of living and everything that's going on with fuel and Russia and Ukraine and everything, you know, mental health is at its highest. So just talk to somebody, whether it be, you know, your mum, your dad, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles. Just reach the phone, go on social media, text, or give somebody a ring, or talk to somebody next to you, and, you know, reach out to somebody.
Spawn.